I want you to take a look at this physique right here. Then take a look at this physique right here. You can see the clear difference. In this physique, this first physique, you can notice that my shoulders are just shrugged down, like there is no shoulder width. I'm actively actually building muscles here. I have the abs visible. I was already jacked, but something was actually missing from this physique, which you can clearly see. Then take a look at this physique. You can see that my shoulders are broad, like they are properly built, and they look more, appealing to the eyes. Okay, let me switch up the photo so that you won't say that it's because I'm currently working out. Take a look at this other one right here. You can see that I'm still broad on my shoulders. So in this video, I'll be walking you through how I grew my shoulders fast, how I was able to add shoulder width and size. And the truth is, what makes a physique look outstanding is not the chest. You can build heavy chest, but if you don't have that nice looking shoulder width, people might say that maybe you are obese. Or maybe if you have just the arms and your shoulders are still shrugged down, people will say that maybe something is wrong with you. What actually makes your physique outstanding is your ability to have broad shoulders. And this is a kind of physique that is appealing to both men and women. And that's what it is all about, okay? You should be working towards making yourself look the best. And also, this helps you get a V taper. Like if you look at this photo right here, you can see my V taper. Though V taper is not just the shoulders, you still need nice lats. Just take a look, you can see my wings down there. That is what makes a V taper physique, then a lean stomach. However, this video is all about how I was able to add shoulder size, okay? I want you to understand that it's not just all about the exercises. There has to be proper techniques, like the strategy. Everything is all about strategy. If you're not strategizing properly, then you will just be wasting your time. So let me show you all how I did this. First of all, I'll be walking you all through the exact exercises I use to achieve this. Now, you already know that the shoulder has the front delt, the side delt, and the rear delt. Now, when you talk about the front delt, what I did was I used one specific exercise. I didn't combine more than one exercise. My front delt, only one exercise. Side delt, only one exercise. Rear delt, only one exercise. So what I usually do on my shoulder days is, the first exercise I do is the dumbbell overhead press. And why I love the dumbbell overhead press is a kind of compound exercise. Compound exercises help you build more strength, and it gives you a lot of size. I usually start with this exercise, and this exercise explodes my front delt. This is the only exercise I use for my front delt, and I do about 4 to 5 sets. And like I said, I usually start with this exercise. If you want to get this exercise properly, do not keep the bench straight. Just slant the bench a little bit. If you keep it straight, you won't feel comfortable executing this exercise, and you might just turn it into an ab exercise because you're now struggling with your balance. Just bring down the bench a little bit so that you can feel more comfortable while executing this exercise. Then the second exercise I used was for my side delt, and there was nothing crazy I did about the side delt. It was just the traditional side raises. But what I did differently here was I did the seated side raises instead of the standing raises. The standing raises, you might add some momentum with your hip. Most times you can still add with your chest, but when you are sitting, you eliminate the hip, the momentum that comes from your hip area. Then you still have to balance up with your arms and all that. So what I did was the seated side raises. Then for my rear delt, I did the cable rear delt rows. This exercise targets properly my rear delt. Now the difference on this exercise is this: most people roll their arms and straighten it out. Once you straighten your arm while doing this exercise, the intensity will leave the rear delt and go to your tricep, because you're doing more like a tricep movement. You're stretching your arms. What I do on this exercise is I make sure that my arms are circular. Maintain a circular arms so that when you roll backwards, you're just targeting the rear delt. And don't overshoot it. Most people try to roll extremely back, overshooting it. Once you also overshoot this, your traps will take up more of the gains, leaving out the rear delt. So you want to keep it light, nice and simple. Now this is all about the exercises. Like I said, I do like 4 to 5 sets on each of these exercises, and I use one exercise for one particular shoulder muscles. Now let's jump right to the strategy I used that helped me build nice shoulder width. I tell you all the time, building a good physique is not just about the exercises. There are millions of exercises in the internet, but it still comes down to how you combine a lot of things. When it comes to being in great shape, it's not just a one-side thing. Like I said, I keep telling you all, it's a combination of several things. Your routine, your strategy, the exercises, your diet, everything has to be at least above 80%. If you're just doing well on the exercises, you're getting the form, and your strategy is bad, your routine is not allowing you to recover, then you can do absolutely nothing. So what allowed me to redefine my shoulder width was the routine I used. I planned it in a way that I will show it to you all on the screen here, in a way that will allow me rest properly while still adding a lot of size. So this is how I do it. On Monday, as you can see, I do my chest and shoulders. On Tuesday, I do my back. On Wednesday, I do my legs. Thursday, for my arms. Friday, I do my shoulders again. Saturday, I do my legs again. Then if you pay attention to this routine, you understand that I do my legs twice in a week. I do my shoulders twice in a week. These are the areas I want to develop more. So there is nothing wrong with working the areas you want to develop more, like twice in a week. But the thing is, most people just stuff a lot of things into their routine, and that will break you down. That will not allow you recover, because recovering is key. Recovering is what you actually need more than the exercises themselves. So if you're not recovering, the physique will suffer. So if you pay attention to the routine, you will find out that I do my shoulders on Monday, but what I do is only the front delt and the side delt. I don't do my rear delt on Tuesday, and I will tell you why. This is because I don't do my rear delts on Monday, and I will tell you why. This is because I do my rear delts on my back day. If you pay attention to Tuesday, you will see where I specified the muscle, and the rear delt is inclusive. Most of you do your rear delts on your shoulder days. On your back day, you're doing your rear delts, and what happens? You overwork this muscle. You shouldn't be overworking any muscle. The more you overwork your muscles, the more it shrinks. You won't get the best out of it. So I don't do my rear delt on Monday, but I do it on Tuesday. So that will help me not to overwork the rear delt. Then the next time I do my shoulders are on Friday. So I have up to 48 hours in between to recover this muscle properly. Mind you, any muscle, before you train any muscle again, there has to be solid 48 hours gap in between. If you're training your muscles twice and there is less time, which is not up to 48 hours, just know that you are overdoing it. So before I train my shoulders again, I did it on Friday, which has solid 48 hours rest. And now on Friday, I'm doing both the front delt, the side delt, and the rear delt. Then I put it on repeat. The truth is, the more you hit your muscles often, the more likely they are going to grow. It doesn't take a whole week for a muscle to recover. You can actually work your muscles twice in a week, but like I said, there has to be solid 48 hours rest. And this was what I implemented, and I do this mostly on the part of my body I am lacking on. So I do them like twice in a week. Normally everybody has to do legs twice in a week. This is because there are several muscles in the upper body. Although the leg is one of the largest muscles in the body, however, you should train your legs like twice so that you can max them out properly. So I needed extra shoulder width. I did my shoulders twice in a week, and that was how I was able to go from this physique you're seeing right here to this other physique. And I'm telling you, that V-taper look, that is what is more attractive. That is what everybody wants, okay? And what makes the V-taper look is nice shoulder width, then good lats. If you want me to make a video about how I train my lats in order for them to grow properly, you can leave it in the comment section. I'll check out the comments. If I see more of it, I will make the video. But what makes a good V-taper look is not just the shoulder, but the shoulder are key. Then your lats and how lean your waistline can be, nice abs. You need to burn down all this side fat beside you. That is what's gonna make your physique looks attractive. And this is it, guys. This is how I was able to improve my shoulder width and look better, because even you watching me right now, you like this other picture than the first one I started with. So that is it, guys. Like and subscribe, share the video. I'll get back to you on the next one.